John Landau, producer of Avatar Titanic and Alita Battle Angel, posts on Facebook and Instagram about Fausto De Martini returning to Iron City to design new Motorball players, which were part of the special features, while James Cameron reacts to Avatar losing the box office crown with relief, saying it's giving him hope for Avatar 2. And Cameron's comments are important because he addresses the whole streaming versus movie theater experience and what he thinks should occur going forward for movies, which I think is very applicable to Alita. In this video, we talk about the significance of John Landau continuing to post about Alita, what Cameron's comments mean to a potential Alita sequel, which combined with the 100,000 square foot city they've already built as a set for Iron City likely mean that a significant amount of work for the Alita sequel is already done, increasing odds of one happening. And we give you an update on the Alita DVD numbers, which the most recent update has dropped. And Rosa Salazar notices Alita's Army's efforts in creating Alita Appreciation Day, wishing everyone a happy Alita Appreciation Day on 9/9 for number 99, creating a new hashtag for us, I love you 99. The doctor is in. What's up guys, Doc Ito here with an Alita update. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of Doc Ito's free repairs. And buy those Blu-rays baby if you haven't already, supporting the movie at the links below. With Alita movie being quiet now for about 3 weeks with the last post on August 23rd, I think it's significant that John Landau decided to post about Alita in his most recent post. The vast majority of his most recent content has been about Avatar 2, and for someone who doesn't post very often, to put this up about Alita is great. The full post said Fausto De Martini, who worked as a key part of the design team, as well as João De Martini, designed new Motorball players that are included as special content for the Blu-ray home entertainment release, here for the designs. There are additional new players that are also on the Blu-ray. So that means that after the movie was done, they went back and worked on special features, but also designed characters that could show up in the movie sequel to come. So this is from Motorball Rules of the Game from the special features, and you can see this yellow character right here is one of the ones that were designed in the post that John Landau reported. And here's another one with the flamethrower that he also discussed. And here's the one with all the wheels here in the background, and the yellow one again. So this team did not settle by making a movie and leaving it at that. They are continuing to work on creating models and creating CGI that can be used in the next movie, which is good news because the content in the manga then focuses on Motorball to a significant amount, meaning they are building assets for the sequel, or at least they've already built a whole bunch of them. And with the physical sets already built, this movie can be made significantly cheaper than the initial movie can, meaning we're just waiting for the green light, Disney. Come on, bring it on. And yes, of course, James Cameron owns the rights to Alita. However, with him working on Avatar sequels with Disney, it's very unlikely that he would go behind their back to another studio, at least until the Avatar movies are done. For me, the most important thing of this is that John is still generating or trying to keep buzz going for Alita. The marketing is pretty much done for this movie. Alita movie Twitter is quiet. Most of the Blu-ray sales have probably already occurred, and for him now to continue to talk about it and put the work in to get this out there is definitely a good thing. So here's Rose's post, and this was really cool. Happy 9/9, aka Alita Appreciation Day. Thank you to all the fans for your undying support of Alita movie. I'm so grateful I get to be your Alita. I want you to know that I see all of your posts and videos and fan art. Here's one video in particular that fills my heart with joy. I love you 99. And this is awesome. I remember retweeting this a while back. This is an amazing video, and it really shows the amount of love, support for Alita, and why we fight for a sequel. So thank you, Rosa, for the shout out to everyone for recognizing our efforts. And I know you're going to get a ton of cards sent your way as we talked about and posted in the prior videos. Now, when Endgame passed Avatar for the highest grossing movie of all time, passing both Titanic and Avatar, James Cameron's highest grossing works, some people assumed Cameron would have been dejected or sour when he heard this news. However, Deadline reports that his first reaction was actually relief and optimism, saying, quote, "It gives me a lot of hope." And the reason, with Scott Mendelsohn going into the backstory, was because James Cameron was worried about the Netflix and video-on-demand theatrical era, with the movie industry being very different now than it was in 2009 when Avatar came out. Scott argues that 2009 was the last year when original movies had a chance to break out, with movies like Taken, The Hangover, District 9, Where the Wild Things Are, and Paranormal Activity doing relatively well. But in recent years, all the movies that are doing well are essentially sequels or repeat movies. He argues that Avatar was a blaze of glory finale to the era before, with it being noteworthy that Fox gave Cameron $240 million to work on a brand new original sci-fi action fantasy, contrasting that to Ad Astra with Brad Pitt, which Fox spent only $80 million on. Speaking of which, I am really looking forward to this movie. More original sci-fi, please. Cameron continues to tell Deadline, Avengers Endgame is demonstrable proof that people will still go to movie theaters. The thing that scared me most about making Avatar 2 and 3 was that the market could have shifted so much, it simply was no longer possible to get people that excited about going and sitting in a dark room with a bunch of strangers to watch something. Which definitely seemed to be where things are going, with of course Star Wars deciding that The Mandalorian and a brand new Obi-Wan series will both go to Disney Plus rather than full-length movies. With more and more streaming online, the fact that Endgame did so well, brought so many people in theaters, is indication that big movies can still happen. And Scott Mendelsohn argues that Disney being behind Avatar 2 is really going to help too, with a likely re-release of Avatar 1 coming out, especially in China, where there are 90% more theaters now than there were, 900% more theaters than there were back then, a 9-time increase. They're going to bring Avatar out probably next year, get buzz up, probably take over the highest grossing movie crown from Endgame, and creating buzz for Avatar 2. Cameron continues, will Avatar 2 and 3 be able to recreate the kind of success in the zeitgeist? Who knows? We're trying. Maybe we do, maybe we don't, but the point is, it's still possible. I'm happy to see it, as opposed to an alternate scenario where, with the rapid availability of custom designed experience that everybody can create for themselves with streaming and all the different platforms, that the theatrical potential might not have existed anymore. With him essentially saying that the theater market is still there and still possible. So can Avatar 2 do it? Well, we'll have to wait and see. However, just look at the movies coming out the year Avatar 2 is coming. Scott says it'll be the end of a big year. Paramount has a new Rugrats movie, Mission Impossible 7, John Wick 4, Hotel Transylvania 4, The Batman, The Suicide Squad, Mortal Kombat reboot, Space Jam 2, Sherlock Holmes 3, Fantastic Beasts 3, Boss Baby 2, Fast and Furious 10, Jurassic World 3, Sing 2, Halloween Ends, and Wicked. And then we get to Disney, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4, Cruella, a new Pixar Disney film, Indiana Jones 5, and Avatar 2. Literally almost every single one of these movies is an old IP. So of course we'll have to wait and see what happens with Avatar 2, but it's clear what James Cameron wants. At the end of this Deadline article, he says, I'm glad it still exists because I'm all about the big screen. Not that I wouldn't do something for streaming where you can get into the characters in a different way, but what I love the most to do is create the completely kind of subsuming experience where you turn off your phone and you engage. You, as an audience member, engage for 2 hours or 2.5 hours, whatever it is, and that still exists. So it's clear James Cameron wants to make a movie. He would love to make an Alita trilogy, like was the plan initially. He says he would potentially be working on a streaming series, which probably could happen with Alita if we don't get a full sequel. However, the fact that Disney canceled over 200 films Fox had in development but did not cancel an Alita sequel is significant that this film is still in its sights. So while Endgame gave James Cameron hope for his Avatar 2 sequel, it decreased sales significantly for Alita. We already covered the Blu-ray sales being down 68%, the DVD is down 70%, with only 9,000 DVDs sold the week of August 18th. Most likely this number is going to be stable or potentially go up the following week, with Endgame being gone. However, the movie falling down to 14th place was not great, but most movies had similar drops, with Captain Marvel 65%, Shazam 65%, Detective Pikachu 69%, and so on and so forth. But while Alita is overperforming, at least I would argue, in the Blu-ray market, on DVD it is not overperforming. It sold 200,000 Blu-rays in 4 weeks, which compared to Shazam is about half of the total. On the Blu-ray side, in 4 weeks, Shazam was at 780 and Alita's at 560. So a much better ratio, which makes sense because people want Alita in the highest resolution and highest quality possible. I do think the numbers are going to go up or at least stay even for the following week. At least I hope they do. And ultimately, we're going to have to get a nice bump on Black Friday and going into the holiday season to continue the revenue to go up for an Alita sequel to go forward. So I definitely think there's been significant work done on a sequel, meaning that we can get this movie done with a lot less cost than the first movie. I think they're still debating behind the scenes. This is just my opinion, whether to do a series or a sequel. Personally, I think it's going to happen. I think we are going to see more Alita, but it's still, the jury is out. Scott Mendelsohn argued in the past that Avatar 2 will matter in Alita's future going forward. It's probably true, but unfortunately that means we're going to have to wait a couple years to find out if that's the case. Either way, for John Landau to talk about this now, to talk about further work that went into characters and assets that can be used in the future, after the movie's out, after the Blu-ray's out, after the marketing's essentially been done for a movie, I think is very important and encouraging that they are trying to keep the buzz going for the movie. And of course, that's what we're doing as Alita Army, because we do not stand by in the presence of evil. So remember to like and subscribe, continue to support Alita, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless. Doc out.